Hey everybody, it's Peter B, and welcome to another edition of Tobacco Card Tuesday. We're going to look at 3 tobacco cards. I'll give a little bit of history. Okay, the first one we're looking at is a T206, 1909 to 1911, card of Henie Zimmerman. And sorry about my cat meowing in the background. Whenever I start a video, he insists of being included, so. Yep, that's Ricky. Okay, Henie Zimmerman was a third baseman playing for the Chicago Cubs and New York Giants from 1907 to 1919. A good hitter, he won the National League Triple Crown in 1912. He was also known for his poor performance in the 1917 World Series, and his baseball career ended when he was banned for fixing games. Zimmerman first honed his baseball skills in the ultra-competitive sandlots of New York City. In 1906, Zimmerman signed on as a second baseman for Wilkes-Barre of the New York State League. The Chicago Cubs purchased him for $2,000 in midst of his second season in Wilkes-Barre. Initially, Zimmerman saw little playing time as the Cubs already featured one of the strongest infields in baseball with Frank Chance, Johnny Evers, Joe Tinker, and Harry Steinfeld. It wasn't until Evers went down with an ankle injury late into the 1910 season that Zimmerman had his first real opportunity in Chicago, starting every game of that year's World Series. Injuries kept Evers on the sidelines for most of 1911 as well. Zimmerman responded with his first standout season. His .307 batting average and his .462 slugging percentage ranked among the top 10 in the National League. But his shaky defense infuriated manager Frank Chance. When Zimmerman muffed 2 chances in an early innings of an August 7th game, Chance pulled him from the field and briefly suspended him for indifferent fielding. In 1912, he became the regular third baseman, where he put together one of the best seasons by any dead ball era player. That year, he led the NL in a Triple Crown stats of batting average .372, 14 home runs, and 104 RBIs, along with a slugging percentage of .571, 207 hits, 41 doubles, and 318 total bases. He enjoyed another fine offensive season in 1913, batting .313 and driving in 95 runs. But his swelled head led to confrontations with management. His performance on the field started falling short of expectations. In 1915, he suffered through his worst season, batting just .265 with a paltry .379 slugging percentage. For the first time, but not the last, pernicious rumors of Zimmerman's dishonesty began to surface. The Cubs finally tired of him and dealt him to the New York Giants in August of 1916. Cellar dwellers in 1915, the Giants were slumping toward another losing season in 1916 until the Zimmerman trade, where they suddenly caught fire and reeled off a record 26 consecutive victories. Between Chicago and New York, Zimmerman collected league-leading 83 RBIs. But his reputation preceded his accomplishments in the eyes of many observers. Zimmerman might have been the greatest player, but he wasn't, dryly noted F.C. Lane of Baseball Magazine. Zimmerman has not, of late years, played his best game. Anytime he wishes to exert himself, he has the natural ability, but his temperament has been a big handicap. In 1917, Zimmer responded to his critics with his best hitting performance in 4 years. A .297 batting average was his best since 1913. His triumphant season concluded in the worst manner imaginable, however, when he batted just .120 and committed 3 errors in the Giants' loss to Chicago White Sox in the 1917 World Series. To go on that note, this is from 1948. It's a 4-page comic, Henie Zimmerman's World Series boner, like the Merkel boner. Let's go back to the series of 1917 and watch the 6th game between the New York Giants and the Chicago White Sox. A Giant player drops a batted ball and Eddie Collins gets to second. The Giants immediately follow with another error, which allows Collins to pull into third base. Gloom settles on the Giant fans like a big dark cloud. Rube Benton is the Giants' twirler. Happy Fletch smacks a stinging grounder, which if it gets past the infield, will bring in the run for the Sox, breaking the tie. You can see the wham of the bat. But lightning fast, Rube spears the onion. Again, all is sunshine for the Giants fans. Benton sees that Collins is hopelessly trapped and sails the ball over to Henie Zimmerman at third base. So Collins was caught off third base, headed towards home. Collins figures that he is done for, and so stands still and starts yelling instructions at the other 2 White Sox ball players. Don't mind those guys, Henie. He's got the ball. So there's Collins in between third and home, just standing there, telling the other players to run. In the excitement of movement, and with Collins yelling his head off, the entire Giant infield runs to cover the bases. Henie even forgets to tag Collins. So what he should have done with Collins just standing there was run over and tag him for the out, but he didn't. He just stood there and watched everyone run. Suddenly, Collins sees that the home plate is deserted as a Dust Bowl farm. Everyone was away. The catcher went to back up somebody, and no one was covering home plate. And Collins saying, "Do my eyes deceive me?" And promptly hot foots it for good old home plate. Henie sees his sure shot victim escape. He can't throw to home plate. There's no one there. What to do? Henie bids his feet carry on and takes after the fleet Eddie Collins. And everyone's yelling, "Hey, Henie." The other Giants could see the futility of Henie's chase, but on he went. Collins breezes across for a run, and they end up winning the game 3-2 because of it. That was the go-ahead run. Henie chased Collins clear across home plate, but never got up to tag him out. A picture of sharp contrast, joy for the White Sox, sorrow for the Giants. As soon as the game ends, as above, giving the White Sox the series and World Championship 4-2. As fans go home, one topic forms the conversation: Henie Zimmerman's fruitless chase across home plate. If he hadn't been for that Henie Zimmerman's boner. Yeah, imagine that guy playing tag with Collins. So, poor Henie, watching smart baseball player Eddie Collins yell his heads and instructions to the other White Sox base runners while just standing there froze. And because of that, the Giants lost the World Series. Best friend on the Giants was Hal Chase, who was later banned for gambling. The two of them at times tried to get other Giant players to not perform well for gamblers. When John McGraw found out about this, he suspended Henie indefinitely from the team, which ended Zimmerman's career. So if McGraw didn't do it, Keenis Mountain Landis, whatever, would have done it. So Henie was banned for the game for trying to fix games. So like I said, this is a T206. There's colors on it. Oops. And it's a sovereign back. Okay, next tobacco card. It'll go quick now. And Allen and Ginter, 1888. Allen and Ginter, N25, Tiger, from Wild Animals of the World. And like most Allen Ginters from that time frame, comes on the back with a checklist. I really enjoy collecting animal tobacco cards, especially big cats. And I thought this was a beauty. So this will definitely be a welcome to my collection. Imagine this card is like, what, 130 years old? More? And still has real nice color. And it doesn't look like it was soaked from a scrapbook. It looks like this is the way it's been right along. And then my last card. I just got this book. The Boys in a Boat. I wanted to read the book before I watched the movie. It's about the American rowing team going over to Germany in the wartime 1936 Berlin Olympics. So like I said, wanted to read the book before watching the movie. But if anyone knows me, whenever I get a book, I need a bookmark. So this will be my bookmark until I finish the book, and then I'll go into my collection. This is EA Trickett. It's a N28 Allen and Ginter's card from the Champion set. Edward Ned Trickett was an Australian rower. He was the first Australian to be recognized as a world champion in any sport after winning the World Sculling Championships in 1876, a title he held until 1880. So the first Australian world champion in any sport. And it's a sport of rowing. On this N28 Allen and Ginter, Champions of the World. And just like the other Allen Ginter from this era, it comes with a checklist on the back. And that's it. Those are these 3 cards for today's Tobacco Card Tuesday. Have a good day, everybody.